All right, so we're going to do the second part, and we'll probably have more after this because I want to get to everything that Jimmy Whisper was referring to and or asking, and we'll see if we can do at least most of this here. We'll try. So he asked, what would happen after you're gone? Let's first say you were an effectual leader and ruled for decades. How would you ensure all the progress you made stands and isn't immediately repealed upon your death? Now, I want to answer that, but then he goes on and says, now let's say, if this is what you're suggesting, which I don't believe you are, you want to go by the old American president of 4 to 8 years, then what good do you think you could have accomplished knowing the ruling class would disallow for and destroy any progress you made, if any, instantaneously? I thought they were good questions, but some of this I've thought about immediately a while ago. Nothing I really delved in on, but we'll take the first one, okay? So the first one, let's say you were an effectual leader. How would you ensure the progress you made would stand and isn't immediately repealed upon your death? Okay. First, we put in the law that any laws made cannot be repealed unless reasonably done so and at the public's demand or support. So, and there would be rules. You cannot use spin. That's one thing I would get rid of in politics. You're a politician. You are a politician. You are not allowed to spin. S-P-I-N. You are not allowed to spin anything. You have to tell the truth. You are a politician. You are vying for the voters. You are not lying to the voters. You are vying for them. So you have to tell them your end game, your goals, your purpose, the point of your need and their votes. So if you're a Republican, you have to say, yes, we want to bolster the wealthy. We want to give them the tax breaks. We want to give them the tax cuts. We want to do this and that. And you have to be honest about it. And you can't lie and say it'll stimulate job growth. You can't lie. It's a play on words. It's not stimulating job growth for those who are in poverty. It's not stimulating growth for those just below middle class. It's not stimulating job growth for the lower or middle class or even the upper middle class. It's only stimulating job growth for executives, CEOs, and the like. It's stimulating job growth in terms of people who can start another mega business that's already got their foot in the door and can go overseas and do it. It's stimulating job growth for banks that are like offshore that want to be a new bank or something, or a branch of an established bank and keep your money so it can't be taxed by the United States. So that's the job growth they're talking about. You can't do that. You have to tell the truth. If you can't tell the truth to push your actual agenda, then you need to be removed. The idea is to tell them what is going on and they can make an informed decision, not be lied to and you run on populist position and then do everything adjacent of it once you get elected. You can't, no. This stuff is important. And lying and playing games, no. I would do what I can to make rules against it. And I would make a lot of progress. I would. But how would I make sure that it stands? Which is the question. And that would be very simply, how can I say, worked for. How would I do that? Okay, right now Sidra's smirking. Why
I'm smirking because I think I'm thinking about what I would do, so I'm waiting for you to finish.
Okay. Now, initially, the mood I'm in because of the shit I've lost, my year's work, honestly, my first thought is I would put foot to ass and break a neck if I have to. I just line all of them up and say, are you going to do well by me? No, broken neck. That's just where I am right now. I don't like putting in a year's work and then it's gone in a literal, legit, no hyperbole, flash. So I'm in the mood, but despite me being in the mood, I'm going to answer this how I generally would. What I would do is, when I do my campaigning, okay, what I would do is, when I do something, I would tell the public what I'm doing. And I would tell them the intended target of what it is to achieve. I would let them know how it affects them directly. That's what I would do. I would not hide it. I would not lie. I would not bullshit. And if anyone was, and I would let them know the ones that were opposed to it. I would say there's a list on this site. These are the ones that are opposed to it. If you need to, you can contact them. Their information is there. You can contact them and ask them why they were opposed to it and why they think the way they think, so that you can understand your politicians. The ones, they're not your leaders, they're your servants. And that's something else I would do. That'd probably be the main thing I would do. I would say, listen, I know it would be greatly controversial what I'm saying, especially as a black man, but I'm the president of the United States. I'm not your leader. I am your representative. I am your servant. I am to help you. I am to serve you for the greater good of the country, not the greater good for your religion, not the greater good for your lack of religion, not the greater good for your hatred of anything. That's not my duty. My duty is not to support your hate, support your religion, or your lack of religion. My duty is to support and bolster and enforce the freedom to express your religion, the freedom to express your lack or zero religion or confusion or whatnot, and make sure that you are safe to do so. But if there is anything that's going to keep you from being safe to do such a thing, it's got to get locked up or sent away or killed. I really don't have anything else for that. If you're going to preach and teach hatred and murder and mutilation and stuff just because someone is different than you, you got to go. That's very simple. You're going to cause harm to others because they are, LGBTQIA or something? You're going to cause harm to others just because they're black or Latino or Latina or Cubano or whatever? No. You can't be here. You're done. You're in prison. You're put out of the country, or you're dead. One of those got to happen. You can't be free walking around hating, spreading hate, and inciting violence and things like that. And yes, that means I'll probably be locking up a lot of people while at the same time putting out, drug offenders. Because, no one's offending drugs. I've never heard of a drug say, my rights being violated. So, people who use cocaine, marijuana, or something like that, you know what? Let them go. Now, if people are using these drugs and committing violent act because of the drug, and they have to use it, they got to get help. They got to get rehab. They got to get off that stuff, and they got to be shown why being off of it is more productive for them, and then find out why they were on it in the first place. I would spell this stuff out to the people. Why am I doing what I am doing? How am I helping you? Why am I helping you? And then, how is your life getting better? And if your life is not getting better, you need to talk to somebody. I'm not gonna Obama anything. I'm not gonna tell you what's best to do, what I'd like to do, and then be like, oh, well, I told you what's up and you didn't do it, so, oh, well. I'm not gonna do that. And no one should do that. No one should leave from behind or hang somebody out to dry. No one should do that, especially a representative, a so-called leader. We went from having representatives to having leaders. We did that because for some reason we have to be sheep. We have to be led. We got to be shorn every once in a while. So what I'm saying is I've changed the mindsets of people saying, we are your public servants. The police should be your public servants, not your oppressors, not government enforcement onto you to protect the government and the oligarchy, to make sure that you are kept at bay. That's what I would do. I would get the people behind me, my mindset, my ways, my dealings, all of this stuff. And once I have solidified that, keep it up. It's not over until it is over. And I tell them, if you like your lifestyle and the way you are, you need to stay informed. I would tell them as president what places to go to get the best information. And I would say, if you find a place that's giving you misinformation, you know what you need to do? Report them. You need to demonize them, and you need to boycott them. You need to vote with the best information possible, not the information that you simply blindly agree with because reasons. Well, I was taught that way. My mom was raised that way. I was raised that way, so I believe that stuff. That is intellectually lazy, and I'll be like, we as a people need standards, because without standards, we get Trump, we get Bush, we get Reagan, we get Truman. That's what we get when we have no standards. That's why I would teach that as president. I would talk about the standards I have, the standards that the progressives have. There would be other parties, and I would allow them on the ballots, and it would be unlawful to not. It would be unlawful to not count the ballots. It would be unlawful. There would be no delegates, super delegates. It would be a popular vote, period. Popular vote. Simple as that. The people want, the people get. And the people can't vote properly if they don't have the information. And I would honestly, everyone has to register as an independent or neutral or whatever I would call it. They would have to. I would make that. And that's not voter fraud. That's not controlling the vote. No, they would do that. And I would tell them, you must register this way because as such, you are representing yourself. You're representing as neutral you. That's who you represent when you vote. You do not represent the one in power. You do not represent we represent you. We can only represent you when you represent yourselves by voting for us. That's the whole point. So as a neutral / independent, whichever you want to call it, nonpartisan, you get to vote whoever you want to vote for. So you don't have to vote. You don't. But you're not going to be gerrymandered into voting. Oh, you're Republican, you must vote Republican. If you don't, it doesn't count. If you vote Democrat, then your registration is revoked. Yeah, that crap has happened. So everyone will have to register as independent or neutral, whichever it is. And that's it. Non-party, nonpartisan, or whatnot. And you vote for the person in whatever party it is. So everyone will have an equal staging ground and whatnot. And the parties would be represented by the best. They would have their own little tallies, their own little tournaments to see who's going to come up to be their representative for whatever office, whether it is even the presidency. There would be votes for the judicial branch too. What judge do you know? This judge is running, that judge is running. And if the judge is going to start acting a certain jacked up way, then that judge can be voted out. You're in the judiciary branch. You are helping make laws for this country that are they're standing by law. People got to do it. They have to abide by the law, or it's against the Constitution. It's against basically the empire, right, as it stands. So that's what I would do. You can vote in and out the judicial cabinet. You can. If they are not working properly, then you as the public can make a mass vote, and then we, the legislative and executive, would hear about it. And we would also have our own votes, which it would come down to, because the people got to talk. We have to listen, and we will have to vote either accordingly or make an argument, appeal to, wait a minute, maybe you got it wrong. Let's look at this. Because you just can't say, I don't like this. Yeah, we don't like this. It's done. No, there has to be a process and a way to get people to have a conversation that does not need to take 5 and 10 and 20 years. It should only take maybe a month or so. And there needs to be websites and other outlets that will show the programs and show why things are happening or has happened with complete, absolute transparency. If someone is like, okay, this person got money from this and from that, and now this person is making that ruling, we don't like that. That's corruption. Now, that's the problem. Because what if that ruling is something that the people need? Something that's good and prosperous for the people. See, that's when you have to that's judging. That's the point. And he said, okay, this happened. There is no such thing as do we make certain allowances and whatnot. No. What is needed to make the country better for the people, not the top earners and whatnot, but for the people. So I would definitely make sure that everybody has a say. I hope I answered that. Sidra, you think well, she's drinking something right now. She went and got some water. But you think I answered that fairly well?
Yeah.
Now, I think if the people can see what I'm doing, they know what I'm doing, whether I'm in office for 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24 years, it don't matter. What is needed is the public needs to be absolutely informed. They need to know what's going on, why it's going on, and see what did it. What party did it. And then anyone must follow suit. And I would enact a serious constitutional law. I would try to put this as an amendment. If the one you vote for to be president or any other place, it's not about do they fulfill the requirements that you specifically want, but are they doing what's needed for the people? If they choose not to, they start working for the 1% or the 10% or anything like that. They're not working for the people. They're working for the oligarchs. You can vote them out on the spot. You can say, you know what? We call this because you've done that. So we're going to hold this new vote. So the popular vote. If they don't want you there, they can vote your ass out and we need a new president. It could happen in the middle of summer. It could happen in the onset of winter. It could happen in the spring or fall. If you are going to start being corrupt, they can vote your ass out. Does that open up a slippery slope for other shit? Yes, it does. However, they have to only be able to do it if there is just cause, not just because somebody was like, you know what, frogs are raping people and I blame the Green Party for it. And it's like, you know what? I don't like that and we need to vote them out. It's like, wait a minute, why don't you use some goddamn sense?
Can I interject?
Yes, interject.
I've been waiting for you to finish, but you haven't finished. So I'm not...
I
told you that, but you kept going.
Go ahead.
All right, so...
Shit. First lady?
Sedrik is far more magnanimous than I am. If he had $1 million, he'd give away 900,000.
I get the Transformers I want first, then I'll probably give the rest away.
I ain't doing that shit.
Sidra gets Republican with that shit.
If I got $1 million, I'll give away 100,000.
To who?
I don't know. I'll decide. Folks who need it. Maybe start an organization that I manage. I don't know. But my point is, that's not my point. My point is, Sedrik is far more magnanimous than me. So I'm going to tell you what I would do. See.
Speak. Are we looking at me?
I'm going to kick your ass.
It's silent air.
I know that.
Speak.
You can edit it out. You good at that.
I ain't editing this out.
Franklin Roosevelt was president for 16 years?
16 years.
16 years, and then he got elected again. Because folks liked what he was doing.
Yeah.
And then after that, they're like, nah, man, we can't have anybody in control for that long. And do you want to know why they did that?
Why?
Because there is no way to get anything done in this country in 8 years, let alone 4 years. Unless you are a tyrant. Trump is as close to a tyrant as we've seen in a while. He displays it all the time.
Oh,
but
yeah.
He's a tyrant in the wrong direction.
I would be a tyrant in the right direction.
Hush.
Oh.
I would be, what you said is nowhere near tyranny, Sedrik.
It is because...
Talking about voting and choice. No, people don't want choices.
I know.
People don't want choices, and I would not give them choices. They need Medicare for all, they would get it. They need gun control, they would get it.
I ain't saying nothing about voting for that shit. That's just a given.
I am not countering you. I'm
Damn,
telling you what I would do.
All
you
right.
hush. They need gun control, they would get it. They need drugs legalized, they would get it. Prostitution legalized makes more sense, they would get it.
Oh,
if you want to be racist, I will find a place for you, not here. If you want to be sexist, I will find a place for you right here, not here. Ageist, sanist, colorist, any ist that is against the people, fat shaming, thin shaming, anything, you would have to go. Because you're not beneficial. I would not be president for 4 years. I would not be president for 8 years. I'll be one of those rulers that gets elected in and just never leaves. There's been plenty of them worldwide. Man, he got elected back in 52 and he was done when he died in 2012. That is the kind of ruler I would be. Because they don't know what they want.
No, they don't. And right now, the American people want all the minorities out of the country or dead.
So, if you, want to gangbang, and even if you have the opportunity to do something else, do your dream be better, you still want to gangbang and kill people, you got to go.
You got, go. Yeah.
You got to go. See, I'm going to put y'all all on the island.
I was thinking about just killing them, but okay.
You put y'all all on the island, and y'all can have at it. Y'all can gangbang and be racist and sexist till there's nobody left. Maybe I'll televise it. I don't know.
Pay-per-view.
But I couldn't do it in 4 years. I couldn't do it in 8 years. I would have to be like, okay, I'm here. I'm not leaving. I'm going to give you what you need. If you're trying to be corrupt, I'm going to strip you of your cash, dump it into the economy, so we can take care of people, send you to the island.
I put a cap on inflation. There would be no inflation. There'd be no price gouging. In hospitals, there's strips that are needed, like testing strips, and they are $2 and some cents. But then when they use it on you, they charge you $800 for it. See, that shit would be right out. I could see charging 10.
You couldn't be a racist teacher. You couldn't be a racist cop. Because you're going to leave. You can try and teach and educate the rest of the races just like you. Or the sexes. Or the classes. Or the elitists. Because it's easy to see what the people need. They need to be able to live freely. Get health care. Take a vacation without losing their jobs. Things like that. I would make sure that happened. And there would probably be no way to guarantee that after I'm gone, it would keep up. There is no way. And see, what people fail to realize is the economic systems for countries are not meant to be eternal. Look at countries throughout history. They have their economic height, all is wonderful, and then it plummets, and they got to rebuild themselves out the rubble. We're on the way down.
You have to change with the times.
We are on the way down. And the country's going to have to be rebuilt out of the rubble. So I would try to make sure that this is the best and most economically prosperous, that everybody's happy and proliferating the best that I can. And then once my time is over and I die and shit goes to shit, somebody had to come in and do it all over again.
Okay, so you wouldn't even try to ensure that your legacy maintains.
I can try until
what would you do to ensure that what you set up will maintain?
This is my point. You can put in laws.
He asked the question.
Let me finish.
Answer the damn thing.
But you can make laws. You can write constitutions. You can put amendments. You can say, if these laws get changed, we kill your firstborn son. There's all things you can say and write. But anybody can step in and say, I'm going to do that shit no more. And it'll be just like that. There is no way. And
people are stupid because the whole time that you give them everything to make a comfortable life, everyone's making a livable wage, way more than they actually need. Making more money than they actually need, living the life they want. No one has to strive or suffer. There's no poverty, or at least if there is, it's very little, or it's by choice because they want to live that way or something. You can do that, and I'm going to say easily 60% of the people will be saying, man, things were better back in the day. This is just tyranny. This here.
I don't like that she gets rid of the races. Somebody should be free to hate me and to discriminate against me.
I mean, why are we going to send the racists and the gangbangers and all this and stuff away? I mean, they have the freedom to express themselves and make everyone else around them miserable or scared for their lives. I don't understand why we're getting rid of that. It's a direct violation of the freedom of speech. I'm like, you know what? The gangbangers and the racists made so that your speech won't free.
If you like the gangbangers and the racists and all the other ists so much, you are free to join them and experience their freedom of speech.
They can live in North Dakota.
No, they be off the continent.
Oh. So how about everybody in Puerto Rico come here and we send them all to Puerto Rico?
That work.
And Puerto Rico would still not be a state, but U.S. territory. See? Mm-hmm. See? There you go.
But there is no way to ensure
and not pay for it. The taxpayers would pay for that move.
There is no way to ensure that what you put in place is going to stay. You can rule, law, write, threaten anything you want to, but after you're gone, it's all fair game.
Though it is, but yet, if people were smart, if they wanted standards, which is what I was talking earlier, then they don't want somebody that's not like you. They want someone that's like you. They're going to find that person or become that person and get in the office some way.
And as Overton Wakefield Jones said in Living Single, if was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. It's a lot to hang on if, because we know human nature.
Yeah, I know. That's why we have to say if. So, I mean, this one ran long too, but we had a little fun. But you know what? I'm gonna admit something. I said she's gonna go all Republican because Sidra gets so damn stingy.
Yeah, I get stingy.
She gets so stingy.
I have to get up every morning and leave my family and go to a place I don't want to go to make money to keep us afloat. I don't want to give it away.
I know that. I know. Look, when we go out, this happened way ago. But we go out and then somebody's like, "Look, we need $5. We got to get back to Charlotte." Yada yada yada. And I'm like, I think y'all are on the take. I think y'all are fucking with me. You're just trying to get some money. How many people have you asked on the road? So we're like, look, it's me. I'm like, look, what if I need help? So I give them $10 and like, there you go. Back, or the woman saying, I need some shoes, yada yada. I'm like, you got shoes on now, but you know what? $5 for some shoes. Then she go off and ask somebody else for $5. So it's a scam. I get that. I know that. But I'm like, they ain't asking for anything that I'm not about to blow on something stupid anyway. So I have no problem giving it. But if it was money that I need, I'm like, I got nothing for you, man. I got nothing. And that's happening. I felt like shit afterwards because you don't know who actually needs it. That don't mean I'm going to give everything away. But, help who you can. And maybe they'll pay it forward. That's just me. Maybe good things will get good results, and that's what I hope for. So that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
I
do that. I'm just more likely to do that for the people that I know than for the people that I don't know. For example, when we had our daughter, tons of people knew my mom donated all kinds of clothes to us. And even if they weren't what we wanted or the clothes we wanted, I was very thankful to have them because there's a lot of money we didn't have to spend. So all of her clothes that she outgrows, I donated to somebody who I know was going to need it.
Paying it forward. Why you give me these all hand-me-downs? Don't nobody want this. Better keep that shit for yourself. Give it to somebody that ain't got shit.
And then to find out that the little girl who's receiving them is extraordinarily happy to have them and likes the clothes and thankful, that makes it all worth it.
Just like we went to the restaurant and the person gave her the free ice cream and stuff and that smile. Oh, and he was like, that makes it all worth it. And then he gave it to me for free. And I'm like, man, I don't even know how to be to show my appreciation for this. I'm just like, if I ever talk about it, it's going to be glowing reviews and stuff. So yes, it's stuff like that. You do something for somebody out of the goodness of your heart and you hope they pay it forward. So that's what I'm talking about, standards. Pay it forward. Give something so others can give back. That's how. You don't give back by paying back. You give back by doing something positive. And if what you're doing is spreading hate or whatnot, then it's not positive. You got to go. I don't care if it's by prison, by send out of country, or death. I just don't want you here hurting anybody. It's that simple. That's an authoritarian? Yes. Because people don't want to respond to kindness. Excuse me. Republicans, could you kind of stop with the racist code and racist rhetoric and stop being racist? Could you just be chill and be very open and honest about everything that you're doing and why you're doing it? And they will pretty much deny it and say that they are for the people, the Constitution, all this other stuff, and then go back to their racist code and rhetoric. And you're like, well, what the fuck? You're like, well, shit. Now let's dig into your soul. Let's pull stuff out and put boot the neck. And then then they're like, you know what? I feel oppressed. It's like, oh, really? Poor baby, fuck you. That's what happens. But me, it would be preventative, and I would always use everything that's happened prior to enforce why things are the way they are. That's what I would do. I want to ensure the legacy, so when I am gone, people have standards that they want, and I would always check their way of living, their life. So if you're not happy, then we need to fix it. And if you're not happy for some stupid reasons, go fuck yourself. So that's all I really got to say. I hope we answered that question pretty much well and stuff. This one went long anyway, but we had fun talking. I did. It was fun for me. It was good for me, honey. Was it good for you?
I'm reading this book, dear.
Well, time to go to the tool shed, get my porn. So that's all we got to say. Jimmy Whisper, I hope we answered at least some of that. Longevity after we're gone, that would be very hard. That would be very difficult. Seeing that they would try to overthrow everything immediately. Yes, you gotta beat them to the punch. You gotta hammer it into the people. Hammer it in, because repetition is the only thing that's gonna work. So that's what I would do. I would repeat what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, show why it's positive. And if the people can tell me why it's not positive, I will listen to the people. And that would be that. That's how that would work. Oh, that was Fillmore being done with the rendering of the last one that we did. So this is Sedrik and Sidra for Comparative Reasoning. Thank you for your question and thank you for listening.